A very good morning here to the Austrian countryside. I would like to give you a very warm welcome, but it is far from that here at the most beautiful circuit in the world. Yes, it is summertime here in Austria. Your eyes do not deceive you. There is snow falling around the circuit here on the second weekend of September. Good morning, everybody. Ian Silvestrin with you for the second round of the Euro 4 Championship, the three-round series. Back for the second year after the McLaren Junior Ugo Ugochukwu won last year's title. 29 cars on the grid. And look at this, the most beautiful circuit in Europe here in the Styrian Mountains. The Red Bull Ring, home venue for the Austrian Formula One Grand Prix. The second round of the Euro 4 Championship. And as you can see, it is lightly raining here at the Red Bull Ring. Well, that is better than the forecast. We were expecting snow. It has fallen just a few hundred metres around the circuit, up the top near turn 3, which is almost 800 metres above sea level. Thankfully, for the moment, the track is just dry. Everyone starting on Pirelli slicks. The grid looks like this. Freddie Slater taking pole position this morning. Alongside his Maxim Rem for the US racing team, Thomas. Grid 1 for race 2 tomorrow. Grid 3 here this morning. GMP out of 4. Ed Robinson on debut for the US racing team. Stunning in qualifying this morning. Inside third row of the grid, Hiyu Yamakashi, car 6. Out of grid 6 for the Van Amersfoort racing team, Maximilian Popov. Great drive from him in qualifying this morning. Grid 7 for the PHM racing team alongside Lucas Samalisto for RSGP. Kin Nakamura Bertha, Rashid Al-Daheri on the 5th row of the grid. Alex Powell, the Jamaican sensation. And Davide Lardini, also for the PHM racing team. Akshay Bora, he dominated the first round at Mugello with 2 victories. He's back on grid 13 alongside his teammate Kabir Anurag from Singapore. Digan Fairclough, Andrea Kostic next on the grid. Then we go to Jack Beaton. Risa from Britain makes his debut in the series. Lynn Hodenuis, Enzo Ye, Ania Frey, Gustav Jonsson, Kai Dadianani. Dion Gowda, Kai competing in the Australian Championship held at Sepang in Malaysia 5 days ago. Ethan Isha, Everett Stack, Luca Visoriano. Thomas Behrman, the younger brother of Ollie, the 2021 Italian champion. And of course, this weekend, otherwise engaged in Baku. Thomas, his first ever car race also for the high-tech Grand Prix team, and Alvise Rodella rounds out the grid. Very light rain falling around the circuit. It is freezing here, I can promise you, here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. The threat of snow, it has fallen within walking distance of turn 3 at the very top of the circuit. For the moment, though, the track is loosely saying it is dry. Everyone on the Pirelli slicks about to set off on their formation lap. A little bit of news coming in from race control. Enzo Ye is under investigation for a starting infringement. The RSGP driver, we'll just get a glimpse of him. Car 77, the driver from Chinese Taipei, under investigation. So that's not a good start from Enzo Ye. Here's the field go out of turn 1. The Niki Lauda curve 1. That was Lucas Samalisto going through in 7. Also for the RSGP team. Digan Fairclough, Risa Suwarathan from the British Championship for the Pulse High Tech team. Racing here with us for the second round of the Euro 4 Championship. They did miss the first round at Mugello. Was strong yesterday on a wet circuit in practice with the high-tech drivers, Deegan and Risa. Thomas Behrman, the young rookie who took 2 pole positions in the European Rotax karting series, in particular in the Winter Cup in Campillos in the south of Spain. Thomas, his first ever car race after finishing the season with the KR Sport team in the Euro Rotax series. He has 2 pole positions for young Thomas. Welcome to the world of car racing for TB, younger brother of Ollie. Thomas, tough introduction on what was one of the most ferociously fast circuits in the world, the former Österreichring. And for our German-speaking viewers, I promise you, I'm sorry, I did not pronounce that anywhere near correctly. Now known as the Red Bull Ring, the most beautiful circuit in the world, no doubt about that. Well, one of them. Magnificent complex. Red Bull taking over the naming rights of this track, home of the Austrian Formula One Grand Prix. We go back to the 1960s when Lorenzo Bandini won the Austrian Grand Prix on the Zeltweg airfield circuit, which does still exist. Just a kilometre or so from the start-finish straight. Look at GMP. Starts out at grid 4 in car 12 for the US racing team. Great debut this morning for Ed Robinson for the German team. 2020 Spanish kart racing champion. The Brit from Mallorca in Spain. P5 in qualifying in car 15. This is Kabir Anurag going through. You can see a few drops of rain on the screen, on the lens of our cameras here. This is Freddie Slater, just a couple of weeks after making his Formula 3 level debut in the GB3 Championship at Donington. Starts out a pole position. A stunning time this morning on a green track. A 32.116, almost 0.3 of a second clear. As you look at TB, this is Thomas Behrman, the plain black bell helmet of the kid from Essex. The second of the three Behrman siblings trying to follow in the footsteps of his older brother. It is Freddie Slater, also from the Kings England, who starts on pole position. A pleasure to have your company here this morning as Dion Gauda slots into position. This is the Red Bull Ring, home of the Austrian Formula One Grand Prix, race 1 of 3 here this weekend for the 2024 Euro 4 Championship, as ever presented by WSK Promotion, together with Achi Sport. 29 cars on the grid, Fast Freddy on pole position. The green flag flies at the back of the grid. The 5 red lights for the first time here in Austria. We race. Great start from Maxim Rem. Not so good for his teammate Gianmarco Pradel, who's slow to get away. Freddie Slater with the race lead. Rem into second place. A clean start as the 29 cars go streaming up into the Niki Lauda turn 1. 2, 3 cars going wide, including Enzo Ye, who is under investigation. Rem into second place. As the field go up the hill for the first time, Freddie Slater having to defend, going very wide on the outside. Alex Powell, the track is slippery. It is raining at the top of the hill. There was snow falling at that part of the circuit overnight. It is still summertime here in Austria. The Brit leads as the field go down the back straight for the first time. Thomas down the inside. Stoltermanis sends it to second place as Maxim Rem locks up into turn 3. The German here in Austria back to third place. Thomas Stoltermanis from Latvia into P2 will start pole position for race 2 tomorrow. Started grid 3 just a few moments ago. He now shadows his teammate. It's Fast Freddy who leads the way. The rain is now coming down harder here on the opening lap of the first of 3 races here at the Red Bull Ring. It's Slater, Stoltermanis, Maxim Rem, the 2 Japanese drivers, 4 and 5, Hiyu Yamakoshi, King Nakamura Berta. Gianmarco Pradel loses a place, he's back to 6. Pop off, up into 7. Here's Maximilian in car 3 for the PHM racing team. As the field go down through the Jochenringe curves for the first time. Is Kai Dadianani, the sole entry for the Crown Motorsport team. It is wintry cold here on the second weekend of September. It is still summertime here in Austria. It's barely 5 degrees Celsius. Pop-off, Lerini with a super start. The driver from Tuscany in Italy. Up into P8 from Robinson. He's fallen back to 9 to Rashid Al-Dahedi. Samalisto, Powell, Beaton, Johnson, Akshay Bora. Remember, he took 2 victories at the first round of the championship. He's back in 15th as one of the RSGP drivers. It's Enzo Ye who spears straight ahead. As you look at the snow-capped mountains in the background, Freddie Slater leads. Stoltermanis. That's Yamakoshi and Rem. King Nakamura Berta. Rashid Al-Dahedi trying to drag himself into this battle. That's Pradel defending from the 2 PHM racing cars. Pop off in 3, Larini in 16, then Rashid just behind. Yamakoshi flying the flag for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Robinson has fallen back to 10 after that great run in qualifying this morning. Commendable effort for all 29 drivers on a greasy circuit. It is raining lightly here at the Red Bull Ring. We've still got 29 in the race as Maxim Rem goes very wide at the Jochen Rindt curves. King Nakamura Bertha, he'll get the slipstream. Slater comes across the line now. Maxim almost puts the former junior world kart racing champion into the wall coming down the straight. KNB will not tolerate that from the German. And he goes up, the Alpine F1 Academy driver, now into P4. Nice pass by King Nakamura Bertha, the second Japanese driver just behind. That's Hiyu Yamakoshi. Tries the inside, tries the outside. Rem trying to defend. Yamakoshi grip on the outside, and both Japanese drivers go past the German. After that super start, Maxim Rem now falls back to P5 for the US racing team. Freddie from Thomas, the gap 1.2 seconds between the two Prema Racing teammates. Nakamura Bertha. In 51, the Alpine F1 Academy driver, the second of which is Kabir Anurag in car 19. He's in 18th, the Singaporean. Kai Dadianani for the Grand Motorsport team. He's made a really good start. He's up into 17th, just getting a glimpse of the Blue Crown Motorsport car behind Enya Frey. Akshay Bora back in 15th. So we settle into a rhythm. There's Gianmarco Pradel going through, Larini just behind. Starting to get to grips with the Formula 4 category, the second generation racer. Larini up into 7th now in car 16 for the PHM racing team. As Yamakoshi has broken clear of Maxim Rem. Gianmarco Pradel now, the Australian trying to take the German driver to US racing team. As big moment there. Huge moment for Robinson. Almost threw it off the road as he rode the ripple strip on the outside of the Niki Lauda curve 1. And now we see Borat trying to desperately make up places. He's got the Serbian, Andrea Kostic, just ahead. There's Robinson. Take a look at this, Jack. Sideways there as Alex going through. Border as they ride a greasy ripple strip at the exit of turn 1. Slater from Stolchamanis, Nakamura Bertha, Hiyu Yamakoshi, Rem Pradel. This battle rages on. Ladini, Rashid Al-Bahedi now makes his way up into P8 from Maximilian Popov, Robinson, Gustav Jonsson, Jack Beaton, Alex Powell, Andrea Kostic, and Akshay Bora down in 15th place. This is not a good run for Akshay, who took 2 victories. He is the championship leader, although that's likely to change unless something dramatic happens in the remaining 3 quarters of this race. He is the championship leader after the first round, 54 points to Hiyu Yamakoshi on 43 points. At the moment, Hiyu in P4. Perfect driving so far from Freddie Slater. He's got a 1.6 second lead over his teammate Thomas Stolchamanis. That's Ledini going through in 16. Robinson behind and shooting straight ahead. One of the RSGP cars, it looked like. Lucas Samalisto, incidentally, has pulled down into pit lane. The RSGP team going to work on the Finns car. The rain still falling lightly as the field make their way treacherously out of the top of the hill. There's Kai Darianani going on through behind Enya Frey. Dion Gowda, car 50, the Singaporean just behind. Digan Fairclough from the British Series. Almost one hand on the British Formula 4 Championship has Deegan got with just 2 rounds remaining in the British Series. Great to have the high-tech Pulse 8 team on the grid here. Deegan was quick yesterday in the rain, but on a dry circuit with little testing, the high-tech team behind the 8 ball somewhat. 2 rounds remaining for Deegan Fairclough in the British Series. He's got, what, 120 odd points advantage over Alex Ninovich, the Australian second in the British Series, with 2 rounds remaining in the British Championship. This is the second round of the Euro 4 Series. 20 championships for Formula 4 racing around the world. This is the second year of the European Championship. Here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, there's Maximilian Popov. P9 defending from Gustav Jonsson, who was on the podium at the first round in Mugello. The Swede tries the outside of car 3 of the PHM driver. There's Robertson, Beaton, Powell, Border in the background. Around the outside goes Gustav. Jonsson with the wide line. He'll find grip out there. The rain falling. Tight line. Incredibly, Maximilian holds the place. Nicely driven, nicely defended from Maximilian Popov. But the field's starting to bottleneck with the exception of the 2 Prema Racing Team drivers. They've cleared out 1 and 2. Slater, Stoltemanis. Back to King Nakamura, Berta, Yamakashi, Rem. And then this battle, Pradel and Rashid Al-Dahedi. Nicely defended from Maximilian Popov, but just behind, look at that, Alex Powell. Very lightly into the back of Jack Beaton. The Australian and the Jamaican make contact. Gustav around the outside this time. Finally, he goes on through. Nice pass from the Swede. Puts him up into P9. Lucas Samalisto, incidentally, for our Finnish viewers, as we see a slight error there from Jack Beaton. Alex Powell follows him off. We can't really call it an error. That's unfair because you can see there is light rain falling. They just slide wide into the Jochen curves. Now Alex Powell under attack just quickly for our Finnish viewers. Lucas Samalisto. Samalisto is out of the RSGP car and he has retired. His morning is over. Alex Powell, car 80, the Jamaican, the Mercedes-AMG Junior. As we get word from race control that the rain is falling heavier up into turn 3, where the field are approaching now. Slater, Stoltemanis, Nakamura Berta, Hiyu Yamakashi, Rem Pradel. Maximilian runs wide. He's back into B10. You can see the rain is certainly getting heavier. And we told you to watch out for the high-tech team drivers behind the 8-ball with a lack of testing. Deegan Fairclough. Reza Sawarathan, third in the British F3 series. Deegan in 87, Reza in 84. Starting to make up their way up through the fielders. Off the road! The VAR driver almost throws it away, does Gustav, after that superb run to make up places. Gustav Jonsson. Superb skill to hold on to it as the rain gets heavier. We pass 1/3 race distance. This is race 1 of 3, round 2 of 3, the 2024 Euro 4 Championship. Slater comes across the line. Thomas is bringing the gap down to his teammate. It was 1.6 seconds, 1.0 last time, down to 8/10. Thomas on the charge. Into turn 1, Freddie works the steering wheel. Incredible talent, particularly in these type of conditions. And the same can be said for the Latvian. There's Nakamura Berta in the background. The gap 1.6 seconds, down to 1 second, now down to 8/10 of a second visibly on your screen. That notification at the bottom of your screen is for Enzo Ye, who was under investigation. So a disappointing morning for the French RSGP team with the retirement of Lucas Samalisto. And now the penalty for car 77 of Enzo Ye. Into turn 3. Better sector that time from Slater. This is Thomas Stoltemanis, twice WSK race winner with the Energy Corsa racing team. There's King Nakamura Berta, so the former junior World Kart racing champions in 1st and 3rd for Ricky Flynn Motorsport and the Forza racing team respectively. This is Hiyu Yamakashi. A couple of victories in the Italian Championship. Also racing in the Spanish series, the United Arab Emirates series. Rem, Pradel, the US racing team, has good drive from Rashid as well. There's the Emirati, the Huawei-backed car 14, the driver who took 2 victories in his home series to start the 2024 series. Acquitting himself nicely in these very treacherous conditions. That's Dion Gowder in the background on the back of Enya Frey and Ed Robinson. Car 15, after that great run in qualifying, has fallen back into 14th place. Alvise Rodella, a miserable morning for car 55. The Italian for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team Vaart, the Netherlands, has just pulled into pit lane slowly. And that's the reason why. The wet's going on. He was at the back of the pack, so nothing effectively to lose here this morning. We are expecting the rain to get heavier. Will we see Alvise Rodella charge on through the field? Last time round for Freddie Slater, a 1:38, a 37.9 for Thomas Dolchemanis, as the gap stays just under a second. The rain is getting heavier, and there are other teams down in pit lane, I can tell you, that are preparing for a stop. In fact, most of the teams are preparing for their drivers to come in. The high-tech team are down in pit lane, one of the finest single-seater racing teams in the world. The British team based at Silverstone with 3 drivers here for the second round of the Euro 4 Championship. We are about to see the high-tech team go to work. There is Rem, Rashid, Gianmarco Pradel. Do they stay out? Yes, they do. Slater, last time round, he's still on the pace as Rashid tries the outside. Does the Emirati on the German. Maxim locks up. Rashid gets the run out of Niki Lauda, turn 1. Maxim Rem tries to feed him a wheel. Kabir Anurag has pulled into pit lane. The Alpine F1 Academy junior driver, the US racing team, will go to work and put wets on the Singaporean's car as Rashid tries the outside. The rain is falling here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Rem, who started a superb Grid 2, now defending from the Emirati and the Australian. There's Yamakoshi, the second Japanese driver, the first of which is Kin Nakamura-Berta, now GMP from Sydney, Australia. On the outside of Rashid Al-Daheri from Abu Dhabi in the Emirates. And the German, for the German team here in the German-speaking nation of Austria at the Red Bull Ring, Maxim Rem holds off the both of them. Ladini up into P8. Rashid tries the outside. 3-time WSK Cup racing champion with the Paralin Motorsport team. Now finding grip where there is none. He holds on to it. What a move from Rashid. Goes on through and takes Maxim Rem. Pradel now tries his teammate. Al-Daheri from the Emirates. Down through the Jochen curves. That was sensational. The best pass we have seen from young Rashid Al-Daheri all season. That was a brilliant move around the outside on a greasy circuit. Rashid Al-Daheri now up into P5. Ladini dives down the inside at the last possible movement. Can't make it stick. Pradel to the Italian. Says, no, you don't. Behind his border, who's working his way up into the points. That's critical. Akshay Bora, 2 race victories at Mugello, now into P9. As you look at Alex Powell, the Jamaican around the outside of the Brit from Majorca in the Mediterranean. Ed Robinson on debut for the US racing team. Ethan Isher for the Jensen Motorsport team pulls down into pit lane. The Swiss team go to work. Pirelli wets going on Ethan's car 21. Ethan's car 21, I should say. Fantastic racing as we already move into the second half of the first of 3 races here this weekend at the Red Bull Ring. Practice yesterday in the rain. Not a single dry lap until qualifying this morning. The track temperature was barely above freezing. It's still summertime here in Austria, but we've got snow falling just a few hundred meters from the circuit. The rain is also falling lightly. There is Rashid Al-Daheri, P5 from Maxim Rem, Gianmarco Pradel. He's under attack from Davide Larini. The Tuscan down the inside This time, he goes on through. Davide Larini, Gianmarco Pradel, 1.5 Italians here in Austria. Pradel fights back, US Racing versus PHM. Pradel tries to intimidate the second generation racer. He won't do it though. Davide Larini has gone through. Bravo, Davide. Now here comes the Mugello race winner. Critically fighting for points. Akshay sends it up the inside. Through the MotoGP chicane almost. There's Pradel, that's his teammate. And Gustav Jonsson back in the race as well. The Swede car 36 for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team in P10. What a race here this morning. A fabulous start. Race 1, round 2 of 3. The 2024 Euro 4 Championships at the most beautiful circuit in the world. This is the Red Bull Ring in Austria. And this is the battle for 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. There's just a few moments ago, whack, jack into the side of the Jamaican Alex Powell. Punch it to the right rear immediately. And the Queenslander, whose father made that treacherously long flight from Sydney, Australia to be here. Sorry, from Brisbane to be here overnight. Yeah, that won't help with his father, Justin's jet lag as the safety car comes out onto the circuit. The gap was down to 0.6 of a second. Jack out of the car. Dion Gowder, in fact, it was, apologies. It was Dion in 50. Into the side. Make up your own minds. To be fair, the conditions are far from easy. Dion Gowder still in the car, hoping to get back going. Jack is out. Beaton has retired. The Queenslander brings out the safety car at the 2/3 distance mark. That's disappointing for Jack Beaton. A super podium in race 3 at Mugello, the first round of the championship, as we just tick over the 20-minute mark. Now, the drivers who have stopped for wets, including Alvise Rodella, this may be a master stroke. The high-tech team, they were waiting for their drivers. They elected to stay out, though. Obviously, Rodella lost the time to make the pit stop. But with this safety car, he's in P25. He was a minute 22 behind, but will make up most of that distance. Freddie Slater still trying to keep whatever temperature there is in the tyres here. Dion finally gets out of the car. That's disappointing for young Dion Gowder. The Indian Singaporean, car 50 for the Prema Racing Team. Dion looks back. Fortunately for him, there's not too much damage for car 50. We'll see him back for race 2 tomorrow. That's at 10 o'clock local time. Race 3 tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock local time. Dion's morning is over. Dion Gowder, who's been racing with us in WSK World Karting since, well, late last decade, 2017, 2018. In 60 Mini. Indeed, the same can be said for many of these drivers. That's Everett Stack, the American from Washington, D.C. Car 9 in position 19 for the PHM Racing Team. One of just a couple of drivers with race experience in Formula 3, the Formula Regional Americas Series. For Everett Stack, Kostic rounds out the 20. So the order is Slater, Stolchamanis, Nakamura Berta, Hiyu Yamakoshi, the Brit from the Latvian, the 2 Japanese drivers, and then Rashid Al-Dahedi with that super pass before the safety car came out in P5. A glimpse of Mr. and Mrs. Sensation there, watching on their boy Alex. If you know, you know. Alex the Jamaican, he's in P11. It was Reza going through in 84 for the high-tech team. Deegan just behind, Lynn Hedenuis. We expect there to be, or this to be, a short safety car period under the direction under the control of our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari. Still light rain falling here, very lightly here as the team here at the Red Bull Ring go to work. Jack's car is removed off the circuit. Safety car in this lap. It is freezing cold here in Austria. I cannot emphasize this enough. Mugello, it was a beautiful summer's afternoon, into the early 30s, the temperature. It's barely above 3 degrees here, some 700 meters above sea level. Almost 800 meters up into turn 3. This circuit with some 60 odd meters of elevation. That's Akshay Bora going through up into P9, so some points for the championship leader potentially as we look to sprint to the checkered flag. It's Slater, Stoltemanis, Nakamura Bertha, Yamakashi, Rashid Al-Baheri, Maxim Rem. He's the third rookie. He's in 7th. Larini from Bredel, Akshay Bora and Gustav Jonsson ahead of Powell, Popov, Robinson, Frey, Luca Vistoriano. What about the Romanian for the Real Racing Team? The young rookie from Budapest. For the rookie team, he's in P15 in this 29-car field. Alvise Rodella in P25, but with Pirelli wet tyres. The safety car pulls into the pit lane. The green flag is flying now. They cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line, which Freddie's about to do now. We race once again to the checkered flag. Slater tries to break the slipstream of Stoltemanis. The two Japanese drivers, Kin Nakamura Bertha, Hiyu Yamakashi. Great restart from Thomas, who'll get the slipstream as they race up the hill. But the problem for the Latvian, he's got the Alpine F1 Academy Junior right behind him. Big moment there for Lynn Hedenius, defending from the American Everett Stack. The restart with 5 minutes to go. Race 1, round 2 of the Euro 4 Championship. Thomas locks up and almost runs into the back of his teammate Freddie. Almost a disaster for the Prema Racing Team. Slater holds the lead. Here comes Keen in P3. Rashid up into P4. The Emirati has split the two Japanese drivers as Nakamura Bertha lightly locks up the front right. There's Vistoriano going through. Luca takes Reza for the high-tech team. The Romanian relishing these wet conditions. There's Gianmarco Pradel, he's struggling. Fighting with his teammate Akshay Bora. He'll have the speed, the momentum, the grip on the outside. Akshay Bora, desperate to take his teammate. He's done so. Slides sideways on the exit. Does the championship leader. The rain is falling. It is snowing nearby here at the Red Bull Ring. It is the second weekend of September. It's still summertime here in Austria, but freezing conditions as Slater and Stoltemanis lead a Prema Racing Team 1-2. Nakamura Bertha, Rem. Rashid, you can see, has lost a ton of positions after making his way up into P4. He's back into 11th. Powell's gone by. He's into the top 10. Vistoriano behind Enya Frey, ahead of Deegan Farkloff. Farkloff, I should say. This is Maxim Rem defending. Locks up the front right, around the outside. Davide Larini tries to take him. Runs off the road, a very greasy circuit. Gianmarco Pradel on the inside. Hiyu Yamakashi's in this battle. Slater now gets the momentum. 7/10 of a second back to his teammate. Nakamura Bertha, the Alpine F1 Academy driver, flying the flag for the German team. Goes around. Does Yamakashi. Oh no, he's in the gravel. Second in the championship. Hiyu Yamakashi almost certainly will bring out the second safety car here this morning. Ledini's gone up into P4. Possibly will continue with a local yellow. Hiyu Yamakashi, no, the safety car's out. Buried in the gravel. What a disappointment. Second in the series. Yamakashi in the sand. His morning is over. This is the reason why. Turns in on the outside. Yep, he was helped. Stays in the car. No, he doesn't. Steps out. Yamakoshi out. Well, it was front left to right rear of, let's just say, another car, another driver that has eliminated car 6 for the Van Amersfoort racing team. Hiyu Yamakoshi brings out the safety car for the second time this morning. Actually, that's not fair to say. His car brings it out, but he certainly did not. He was an innocent victim in that incident. Steps out. The long walk back down the hill to the pits. The sole remaining Japanese driver, Kim Nakamura-Bertha, still in P3. Hiyu Yamakoshi, his morning is over. Slater with a lead of 1.4 seconds. You know that will evaporate. We may get a one-lap sprint. It is a 30-minute plus one-lap race, or potentially finish under full course yellow. Safety car in this lap, so we will sprint to the checkered flag. Fabulous work from race control here. Under the control of our race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari. The Euro 4 Championship, won in 2023 by McLaren Junior Ugo Ugochukwu, presented by WSK Promotion, together with Achi Sport, racing with the GT Open International Championship, also the European Formula Regional Championship here this weekend at the home of the Austrian Formula 1 Grand Prix. We will sprint to the checkered flag. The order is Slater, Stoltemanis, Nakamura-Bertha, Rem, Border up to P5, goes by his teammate Pradel, Jonsson, Larini in 8, Alex Powell and Rashid back to 10. Alves Herradella on the wet tyres, not really making inroads. He's down in position 23. The green flag is flying now on the start-finish line. Freddie Slater controls the pace. He dictates the race. They cannot pass until they cross the start-finish line. Out of the Jochenring curves, there will be one lap to sprint to the checkered flag in race 1, round 2 of the 2024 Euro 4 Championship here in Austria. Fairclough runs wide. Perfect restart from Freddie Slater. Nakamura-Bertha tries to take Stoltemanis for a second place, but here comes Maxim Rem up the hill for the final time. The German on the outside of the Japanese driver. Here comes Akshay. What a comeback from Border. Stoltemanis in trouble, under attack. Slater's gone. Surely he'll take victory after a forgettable first round at Mugello. Nakamura-Bertha in the middle of the circuit. There's Stoltemanis. That's Akshay Border from grid 15. Border is boring his way through the field. He's almost onto the podium. That's the lead from Slater back to his teammate, just Stoltemanis, Nakamura-Bertha, Ram, Border, the two US racing teammates. Off the road goes Tegan Fairclough. Almost inside the top 10 was the Brit, making his debut on the continent. Does well to keep it out of the gravel. His countryman, though, on his way to victory. Into P4. Nicely done from Akshay Border. Takes his teammate from grid 15 into 4th place for the championship leader, but the checkered flag is about to wave. The driver from the King's England, fast Freddie Slater, with a perfect judge of victory here this morning. He takes the win here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Thomas Stoltemanis makes it a Prema Racing 1-2. And Kim Nakamura-Bertha, the Alpine F1 Academy junior driver, on the podium in 3rd place. Border home in P4. What a recovery for Akshay. The championship, 3 rounds, 9 races. It is certainly still alive. Freddie Slater puts himself into contention. He takes victory in the first of 3 battles here at the home of the Austrian Formula 1 Grand Prix. So these are the results. Slater with a perfectly judged victory. It was not easy on a greasy circuit, particularly with the safety car interventions. From Stolchemanis, Kin Nakamura Berta with the fastest lap of the race. Porter from grid 15, Maxim Rem, Lavini, Bravo. Gustav Jonsson, Powell recovers. Rashid Aldeheri, Luca Visoriano. The rookie from Romania, for the rookie team from Romania, Real Racing. He makes it into the top 10, taking Jamaico Pradell and Deegan Fairclough, the high-tech driver from Britain, who was off into the gravel just half a mile from the checkered flag. Luca Visoriano comes home in P10 inside the points. The first of 3 races here this weekend. Yamakoshi, Gauda, Beaton, Isha, and Luca Samalisto, the 5 retirements. This is the race winner, Freddie Slater. One and a half years racing in Formula 4. Next year, he will be racing in the... Yep, stay tuned. Takes the victory here this morning. The former Junior World Kart Racing champions from 2020 and 21, first and third respectively. Thomas Stolchemanis in second. It's actually a Prema Racing 1, 2 and 3. Stolchemanis defending superbly. Takes home P2. He will start on pole position for race 1 tomorrow morning. Snatch pole position with his final flying lap this morning in qualifying. Grid 1 for the Latvian tomorrow morning. That's race 2 at 10 o'clock local time. This is the race winner, Freddie, the oldest of the 5 Slater siblings. Congratulated by Keane. His parents, in fact, the rest of his family, watching on from PFI in England. Morning, Adrian and Olivia. I can't believe I'm saying this, but no doubt it is warmer in the Midlands of England than it is here in Austria. And from what we've seen, even sunny.
It looked like it was like...
The highlights of race 1, Freddie Slater from pole position, but Maxim Rem with a perfect getaway. And it was the German who tried to take the lead up into turn 1. Slater held him off as the Prema drivers went 1 and 3. A good start, a clean start, considering the rain was already falling on the formation lap. Slater pulling away 1.6 seconds, but Stolchemanis, his teammate, was catching him. Superb skill from Gustav Jonsson to bring it back on the circuit, out of the gravel, out of the grass. What about this move from Rashid? Around the outside, the Emirati going up into P4, unfortunately would finish in P9. That was more than could be said for Dion Gauda. Jack Beaton, the Singaporean and the Queenslander, out in that incident, which brought out the safety car. And this was Hiyu Yamakoshi, who was helped into the gravel. That brought out the safety car again. Slater withstood the attack. He takes victory. Stolchemanis home in second. And Kin Nakamura Berta makes it a Prema Racing team 1, 2 and 3. The podium here. We wait for the drivers to make their way up from Parc Fermé. Don't forget, race 2 tomorrow morning. That's at 10 o'clock local time. And at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for race 3. This is round 2 of 3. The third final round of this three-round series on the 6th of October at Monza, the recent home of the Italian Formula One Grand Prix. The second year of the Euro 4 Championships, Ken Nakamura Bertha, KNB in P3, the Alpine F1 Academy Junior. Thomas Stoltemanis from Latvia will start on pole position for race 2 tomorrow morning. Freddie Slater, a perfectly judged drive to take victory here this morning. It's a Prema Racing Team 1, 2 and 3. Mr. Raffaele Gianmaria, former GT Formula 3 racer, representing the Automobile Club of Italy and the Euro 4 Championship, and one-time Ferrari Formula 1 test driver as well, presents the trophies. Does Mr. Raffaele to Ken Thomas and Freddie Slater. Prema 1, 2 and 3.
And now, in honor of the winning driver of Freddie Slater, the British national anthem.
That's obviously the 7-inch version, the remix. A very brief version of God Save the King, the national anthem of Great Britain. Freddie Slater, the British driver for the Italian team, wins race 1 here at the Red Bull Ring. Stoltemanis also taking victory in the rookie race as well from Ken Nakamura Bertha and Maxime Rem. So Thomas will make his way back out onto the podium, as will Ken, and they'll be joined by Maxime Rem. Alex Powell finishing in P8, the 4th rookie. And what about Luca Vistoriano? He won't stand on the podium, but does get P10 outright. And the 5th rookie home. The 3rd rookie home is the German here in the German-speaking nation of Austria. This is Maxime Rem for the US racing team. Ken Nakamura Bertha, the 2nd rookie for the Alpine F1 Academy driver. And Thomas Stoltemanis, the rookie victory here this morning. Remember, the Latvian starts on pole position for race 2 tomorrow morning here at the Red Bull Ring, 10 o'clock local time.
And of course for Thomas Stoltemanis, our rookie winner here. And in honor, now time for the national anthem of Latvia.
Freddie Slater takes victory in race 1. We'll be back to do it tomorrow morning. Thomas Stoltemanis wins the rookie race. He starts on grid 1 tomorrow morning. We'll see you then.